Today we will be shifting our focus from business to the youth. I'm Megan, and on today's interview we have Alessia and Richard. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us here today.
The big question, lockdown. What is your experience during lockdown?
Lockdown. Well, it started off rough, but as they phased in stage 4, it got a little bit looser, and it was nicer that you could go exercising, and it was nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think having the regulations loosened has definitely helped. I personally have a love-hate relationship with lockdown. I enjoy being at home and spending time with my family, but I really miss being at school and playing sports and spending time with friends.
How has lockdown affected your schoolwork? Alessia, you being in matric, and Richard, you being in grade 10.
I do think it's rather stressful, especially because none of us have really experienced the system before, and majority of us don't do homeschooling for many reasons. So it's been a bit stressful to adapt, but I think we're getting the hang of it now.
Honestly, I think it's something that we all not used to. We have to get into the program with online schooling. It's definitely different. I'd say, personally, my opinion is I prefer school, actual school, because online schooling, it's just frustrating to find the work. But once you find it, you can manage, and you can ask for help from your friends. It's just nice like that.
It is almost back to school during lockdown level 3. What is your feelings about that?
I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but for the first time, I actually can't wait to go back to school. I can't wait to see my friends again. I want to be back on the sports field. I just miss it. It's something that I want to go back to.
Yeah, I'm definitely not against the idea either, because there's been a lot of pressure on matrics and teachers to finish the syllabus so we can actually matriculate properly this year. And yeah, I'm very excited to get back to see my friends and play sports, because we've actually had 2 sports tours cancelled this year, which is kind of sad, but only so much we can do.
Are you scared of getting the coronavirus?
I'm personally not, just because I don't think the death rates are as high as it should be for this much panic. I think that my immune system is strong enough that it will survive, so I'm just excited to get back to normal.
That's quite a flexible topic, but my personal opinion is that I'm not really that afraid of the coronavirus, but I think for a lot of people that it can become a fatal reality. But for me personally, if I get it, I think I'll get over it in about 2 weeks or something. It's just a little bit worse than a flu. But for the people with diseases and stuff that they can't live out of, that might affect them a little bit worse.
We read so many times on social media about depression and how it affects people during lockdown. Do you think South Africa's youth or young adults are struggling with depression during lockdown?
Yes, I think for a lot of people it's something that you have to get used to as well. Some people struggle to cope with not being around people, being unsocial, and it's hard for some people, not always being with your friends. It's definitely something that we have to get used to. It's a big change in our daily lives, but it's unfortunately a change that we're going to have to make.
I do think it's a really relevant issue because a lot of us are used to being around so many people, like Richard said. But it's important to stay motivated and stay productive and keep busy, because most of us are used to a fast-paced life. So we need to just find a good hobby and keep our minds busy.
What advice would you give teenagers or young adults struggling during lockdown?
Like I said, finding a good hobby, spending your time that makes you happy, spending time with family, and also keeping busy with exercise. It keeps your endorphins flowing and keeps you in a healthy state.
Yes, like Alessia said, finding a good hobby is a really good idea. Even if you're not sporty or anything, just find something to keep your mind busy. Talk to people, video call people, message people. Just try and put yourself around people, just without being physically around them. Keep your mind busy, stimulate yourself by doing stuff.
What do you miss most about your normal life?
Honestly, I miss my friends. I miss being on the sports field. I miss just going and being active. I miss being on the track and racing. I want to go back to that again, but unfortunately because of this corona, I kind of got sloppy with that. But now stage 3, so I'm getting back at it. I'm coming.
I definitely miss being on the sports field the most. I really miss my hockey. We've had 2 sports tours cancelled, so I can't wait to go back to that. I know we won't be touring, but I really miss my team.
Thank you so much, Alessia and Richard, for talking to the Vuvuzela today. Remember, if you have a feel-good story or just a small business to share, visit our website at www.thevuvuzela.co.za. Be safe.